Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to the technical 5E, National Congress on Information and Communication Technology, ICICT 2023, London, UK. The 8th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was held in London, UK on 20th, 21st February 2023, and the virtual event will be held through Zoom today and tomorrow, 22nd and 23rd, 2023. I hope you'll enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive session throughout. In this session, we have 6 presentations, and each presentation will be given 12 minutes for their presentations and then 3 minutes for the question and answers round. On 10 minutes, I'll raise a gentle reminder for you all to conclude your meeting. There is another request to all the participants that you all please stay connected with us till the closing remarks. And if like is here, firstly, we have a session chair, Dr. Martha. She's an assistant professor and a contract professor in computer engineering at Udelma Sapienza University in Rome, Italy. PhD in computer science earned at University of Paris. She's a director of first level executive Open Data and Web Community Manager at Sapienza University. Her main research and data mining, security, and knowledge discovery. We welcome you, ma'am. Thank you for being with us.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for presentation. Nice to meet you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have our next session chair, Dr. Sunil Kumar Jangid. Dr. Sunil Kumar received his BE in Information Technology with honors in 2009 and MTech degree with the highest in 2012 and a PhD degree in Computer Science and Engineering in 2018. Currently, Dr. Jangid is working as a Senior Manager, Projects and Process at Flux Private Limited. The main area of his research interest is design of algorithms, machine learning, computer networks, as well as routing 7.
Anjali, I think your voice is breaking.
We can hear you. You have some connection problem.
Okay, no problem, Anjali. We are moving our next. We are start about the session and the presentation. Presenter is Inda, and the paper title is coping with the business ethics issues in the era of the Internet of Things.
Okay, thank you and good morning. Good morning from Indonesia. It's evening here. I'm Indah Fatmawati from Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Today, I'd like to present my paper entitled Coping with the Business Ethics Issues in the Era of Internet of Things. This is the abstract of my paper. This is the outline of my presentation, starting from introduction, and then we will discuss about drivers of unethical business practice, ethical implication of Industrial Revolution 4.0, challenges in business ethics in Industrial Revolution 4.0, and the concept of business ethics, and then business ethics perspective and business ethics model, and finally we will conclude with anticipation action. Starting from this slide, the perception of business ethics has not changed over the past 3 decades until the beginning of 21st century. 21st century is perceived as a biotech century, which require business to consider its ethical implication. The consequences of advanced technology create ethical challenges. The impact of technology, computer, the internet, and the World Wide Web, electronic commerce, or genetic engineering and human cloning require more attention and started to be speculated. Currently, Industrial Revolution 4.0 is phenomena that also will have impact on the way business is conducted. This era also called as Industrial Internet of Things, and it refers to the integration of IoT technologies that create industrial value that enables manufacturers to utilize fully connected, intelligent, and decentralized technology. Typical issues of business ethics. There are several typical issues in business ethics. The first is issues related with workplace ethics, and then issues of consumer ethics, including the issues of advertising ethics and issues of marketplace ethics, issues of developing of an ethical culture within corporation, and issues of verifying corporate moral agency and of establishing social responsibility of the business. The issues of business ethics in the Industrial Revolution 4.0. There are several issues related with business ethics in Industrial Revolution 4.0. The first is what the purpose of business in the machine age. And then the next is what model for business will best serve society in coming decades. Profit maximization, stakeholder theory, or another conception entirely. The third is it time for a new social contract between business and society? The fourth, do firms have a natural duty to offer employment? And the fifth, are existing concept of responsibility or liability adequate for an age in which companies use autonomous robots as space goats? The sixth is, how can we protect our humanity and dignity in an algorithm-based society? And the seventh is, do we need to teach ethics to robots? Based on my literature exploration, I found there are several drivers of unethical business practices. The first is heavy pressures on company managers to meet or beat short-term performance target. And the next is faulty oversight, enabling the unscrupulous pursuit of personal gain and self-interest. And then company cultures that puts profitability and business performance ahead of ethical behavior. The first is regarding with inequality. The technological unemployment in machine age lead us to several questions about the role and responsibility of business and society. And the second is, according to responsibility principles, responsible firms have a duty to minimize the negative impact of technological unemployment in society. The next is regarding with technological unemployment. Artificial intelligence revolution has already taken over much of manufacturing. On many manufacturer floor, there are no more human beings inside. Technological innovation usually creates more new jobs. However, it also creates competition between human worker with robots, and robot takes many of the new jobs. Another issue is related with the gig economy. The gig economy often associated with a sharing economy. This indicates quite shift from full-time employees to workers who contract for short-term projects. Technological change require changing skills. It is easier to find the skills in the gig economy than to teach them to long-term employers. It is cheaper to outsource work than to assign it to employees. Outsourcing the work is inherently more efficient. This results in a large contingent of freelance worker. However, freelancers are usually unprotected by overtime and labor laws. Typically, receive no health coverage or other benefit. Rates for contract worker equilibrate at a lower level than for employees doing the same job. Based on the previous issues, I'll try to discuss the concept of business ethics. Business ethics is focused on the application of the strategies of moral reasoning to the activities of people engaged in the business and to the policies of economic organization. The development of business ethics program implies a critical consideration of business activities in terms of its social value, legal status, conformity to moral standard, embedded in the regulatory basis of the complex relationship between social actors engaged in economic exchange. Based on the concept of business ethics itself, there are three business ethics perspectives, or there are three schools of thought in business ethics. The first is the school of ethical universalism. The second is the school of ethical relativism. And the third is integrated social contract theory. So, what are the implications? What are the ethical implications of the fourth industrial technology? Related with the practical challenges of Industrial Revolution 4.0, the first is insecurity, such as data security or maturity of Industry 4.0 must be reduced. The benefits of the Industry 4.0 must be transferred from the level of vision to the reality. Internal staff qualification program and training programs for school and universities must be called. Investment in Industry 4.0 must be encouraged by public funds to reduce barriers explicitly for the organization. And the ethical issues in artificial intelligence are duty to design artificial intelligence to behave ethically. And the second is duty to voluntarily take responsibility and duty to develop explainable artificial intelligence. Sorry, actually I have the model, I adapt the business ethics model from Svensson and Woods, but I don't know why it doesn't appear in my PPT because it previously can be appear. So based on Svensson, the companies should consider the expectation from the society regarding their expectation toward how the business should be conducted. And then based on the society perception, it is expected that the company will consider it into their share value, their business value, and their and the way they conducted their business, so that it is expected that it will create a new business model by considering the society expectation and value of the society itself. This is the model that actually should be in my paper. So based on the previous discussion, we arrive on the conclusion that the company needs to adjust the choice of community models for the company goals. And the second is expertise of employees must be upgraded. And the third, transition from employee to temporary worker. And the fourth is human and robots must have a synergy to complement each other. For conclusion, business should be best estimate the expected consequence of their ways of doing business upon all involved parties. Business should act in ways that result in the maximum expected social utility, and decision-making process on both individual should be consistent with the promises of long-term business advantages by considering various stakeholders. And the last, consider the consequences of business activities in terms of how they contribute to social welfare. Okay, That's all for my presentation, and thank you.
So there is only one question from my side. Have you conducted any survey for this?
Yes, sorry.
Have you conducted any survey for this research? Like whatever fact you have presented here.
This is
there
a
any
literature
significant survey?
review. Sorry, Dr. Sunil, this is a literature review that I conducted based on several previous published paper and research-based paper.
So where are the references? Could you please share the references?
The references available in the paper. I use so many references around maybe. There are
But
many.
you haven't mentioned any reference in the slide.
Yeah, maybe. Sorry about this. Because of the limited time.
No, there is no need to read each and every reference. We have to mention the reference if we are presenting any literature review or any research.
Yeah, sorry.
We have to mention the reference if we are presenting any work in
Oh,
this
yeah.
global platform.
Okay.
We have to mention the reference. There is no need to read each reference, but yes, at the end, in the last slides, we have to present the references.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. But sorry that I missed to insert the references inside my presentation. Thank you for your suggestion.
Okay, thank you.
Inda, thank you for the nice presentation. I think you should add some statistics about the number of papers that you reviewed, the year, the range of publication of this paper, some further information to understand the kind of systematic review that you performed.
Okay.
Also to give a greater value to your work. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Martha. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Inda. We would like to move on to our next presenter now. I would like to invite our next presenter, Salman Tribadi, to please present their paper on the topic Hospital Funding System by Crowdfunding Website. Dear presenter, please present your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. May I share my slide? Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, in this occasion, we would like to presenting our presentation titled Hospital Funding System by Crowdfunding Website. The author of the study is Dr. Firman Pribadi SIMSI from Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, Postgraduate Program Master of Hospital Administration. The introduction of the study: healthcare is a very capital-intensive business, and access to source of financing, which is essential to keep operational activities. Some hospitals are able to generate a sufficient cash flow amount from their operational revenues. On the other hand, for the small revenue hospital that cannot cover its development plan or operational activities, access to capital becomes more important. Their competitiveness will depend on funding resources with low cost. Based on the description, there is an apparent problem faced by hospitals in accessing the fund. In accordance with the development of ICT, currently there are many technology-based crowdfunding platforms. The purpose of the study: first, to find out how far the head of the hospital knows about crowdfunding. The second one is to find out how many respondents are interested in being involved in using crowdfunding if Muhammadiyah makes crowdfunding as a source of funding for its health services. Because actually Muhammadiyah has a vital funding source, but not an wholly organized. Therefore, a grid system is needed to maintain the Muhammadiyah organization goals. The next is literature review. Moritz and Bloch 2016 present an overview of crowdfunding academic research for all types of crowdfunding. First, crowdfunding literature with a focus on capital seeker. Crowdfunding literature that focus on capital seeker pay close attention to crowdfunding motivation, determinants of success, and the legal limitation of equity-based crowdfunding. Several research related to capital seeker can be seen below. Second, crowdfunding literature with a focus on provider of capital. The behavior of capital providers is critical to crowdfunding accomplishment. Scientific research mainly focus on the motive of capital providers to play in crowdfunding, and the factors that influence the investment decision can be seen in the following studies. Third, crowdfunding literature with a focus on mediators platform. A mediator on the transaction and crowdfunding involvement offers many advantages for the fund seeker and provider. Besides the process standard, the platform also acts as an information gate, communication, and execution. Through that, we could decrease the asymmetry of information and the risk involved in the party participation. The discussion. This research is a survey research. By distributing online questionnaires, which are distributed to all respondents who work in hospitals throughout Indonesia in the form of open and closed questions via Google Form. From this questionnaire, we get the following data. There are 4 characteristics of respondents observed in this study. The first is gender, the second age, following lack of work, and position at work. Characteristic based on gender. Judging from the table above, gender in this study dominates women with a total of 74 respondents with 55.2%, compared to 60 male respondents with 44.8%. Characteristic based on age. The majority of the age of the respondents were aged 31 until 40 years, with 43 respondents, or about 32.1%. Next respondent, aged 41 until 50 years, with 38 respondents, or about 28.4%. The third age of 51 until 60 years, with 27 respondents, or about 20.1%. Followed by 23 respondents, aged 21 until 30 years old, or about 70.2%, and the last 3 respondents aged 61 until 70 years with 2.2%. Characteristics based on lack of work. There are 53 respondents who have worked for 11 years and above, or around 39.5%. Then 46 respondents who have worked for 2 until 5 years, or around 34.3%. 24 respondents work for 6 until 10 years with 18%, and 9 respondents, or around 6.7%, who have worked less than 2 years. Then the last is 2 respondents who do not provide information on how long they have been working. Characteristic based on position. Based on the table above, the most position of this research is work as hospital director with 53 respondents, or around 40%. Then followed by the head of division with 38 respondents, or around 28.3%. Then followed by the general practitioners with 17 respondents, or around 12.7%. Next, medical specialists and employees with 8 respondents, or around 6%. Then dentists about 4 respondents, or around 3%. The nurse with 3 respondents, or around 2%. And the last is empty, about 3 respondents, or 3%. The knowledge about crowdfunding. Only 10% who answer yes, I ever or currently using a crowdfunding from platform in Indonesia. Only 38% who answer yes, I have heard about crowdfunding from other people's explanation or other media such as internet, but have never been in touch. There are 52% who answer no, I am new to crowdfunding after reading the explanation above. Crowdfunding platforms that ever used. Regarding to the statement, if you have used or currently use a crowdfunding platform in Indonesia, state the name of the crowdfunding platform that has been or is currently being used. Several respondents answer kitabisa.com with 6 respondents, 5 respondents answering Lazismu, and 2 respondents using ICT. The role of the respondent in crowdfunding platform. There are 46% of the respondents using the platform as the seeker of fund. There are 20% of respondents who answering as the providers of fund. Therefore, there are 34% of respondents who answering seekers and providers of fund. The current source of hospital operational funding and investment. The top three of source of hospital operational funding and investment are from banks with 26 respondents, followed by the hospital operation with 22 respondents, and then the foundation with 14 respondents. Desire to be involved in crowdfunding Muhammadiyah. Regarding to the question if Muhammadiyah established this crowdfunding, would you be willing to be involved? There are 98 or 73% respondent answered yes. There are 36 or 27% respondent answered no. Desire to involve in crowdfunding Muhammadiyah. Regarding to the question if Muhammadiyah established this crowdfunding, would you prefer to use this Muhammadiyah crowdfunding fund or would you prefer to borrow from a bank? Would be with reason, why choose one of them? There are 12 or 10% respondent choose a bank. There are 1 or 1% respondent choose both. There are 8 or 6% respondent choose not to choose. There are 113 or 83% respondent choose crowdfunding Muhammadiyah for reasons of procedures and system. The desired form of crowdfunding. Regarding to the question if Muhammadiyah makes a crowdfunding funding system, what form of crowdfunding do you want? There are 57 or 42.5% respondent answer based on equity or shares. There are 56 or 40.3% respondent answer based on donation. There are 12 or 8.2% respondent answer based on debt. There are 1 or 1.5% respondent answer based on KSO. The summary of the research. Majority of the respondents who come from hospital leader are not familiar with crowdfunding as source of funding for health services. Only 10% or a small part of them have ever been involved with the crowdfunding platform. The majority or 85% of respondents are willing to be involved in the Muhammadiyah crowdfunding platform if the Muhammadiyah organization forms a crowdfunding platform. The crowdfunding platform is beneficial for Muhammadiyah for the development of dakwah in this health sector because all of this time, many hospitals in Muhammadiyah environment are still experiencing difficulties in funding sources for their health services. The reference of the study can be seen above. That's all from our presentation. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
I think no query from my side.
Okay, what will be your future work about crowdfunding? I think that this is only a starting point. For this reason, I asked for this.
Okay, the historical from my research is about how to that is difficult to finding the source of fund, yeah, for the operational, and then Muhammadiyah made the biggest Islamic organization in Indonesia, and then I think how the Muhammadiyah can to develop dakwah by health organization in Muhammadiyah concern, and then the problem is how to find the source of funding, and then and I think that the next time for Muhammadiyah how to manage the funding in the Muhammadiyah source, like from the participants, from the from Muhammadiyah participant, like and then I think this is the time how to manage like crowdfunding as a source of funding in Muhammadiyah, and especially in Indonesia, because the source of fund is more cheaper than cheaper than banking source of fund gitu.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll now move on to our next presenter, I would like to request our next presenter, Liz Obregon, to please present their paper on machine learning models for predicting student dropout review. Dear presenter, please present your presentation.
Yes, thank you very much. I will share my screen. Wait, please. Okay. Good morning, organizers of the International Congress on Information and Communication Technologies 2023 and participants present. This is Luz Obregón Palomino from the University Autónoma del Perú. It is a pleasure to be able to present our paper entitled Machine Learning Models for Predicting Student Dropout, a review. Well, as you can see, our outline is introduction, methodology, result, discussion, and conclusion. Starting by introduction. Well, the issue of student dropout affects not only the student, but also their families and society as whole. Higher education institutions are implementing a strategy to reduce this phenomenon. And with help of machine learning, it is possible to identify factors that contribute to students withdrawing from school. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that uses the data and algorithm to simulate human learning and find patterns within data. The objective of this review is a machine learning predictive model of neural networks, select the best algorithm, and obtain the model, a model that can better predict which students are at risk of dropping out. Educational institution needs to follow up with the students to prevent dropouts and contribute to a sustainable economic development. Well, the strategy to use the answer to such question posed and study on the prediction of school dropouts. The question includes of learning model, the accuracy of predictive models, the factors considered, and tools used. Our research strain was used in different repositories, and inclusion and exclusion criteria were applied. Yeah, as you can see, we have 4 questions. The first one is what learning models did you use to predict student dropout? The second one is how accuracy were the predictive model? The third one is what factor or aspect do you consider to predict student dropout? And the last one is what tools did you use for predictive model? The objective, obtain the accuracy model that can be used by educational institutions to monitor and support these students, improve their academic results, and prevent them for dropping out of the school. Well, a total of 1,358 manuscripts were reviewed, where duplicates were discarded and articles not related to the topic were eliminated. And finally, 54 manuscripts were selected for analysis with methodology PRISM methodology was applied to identify and select the most relevant papers. Well, likewise, the people in the Republic of China, the United States and India contributed a total of 27 items among the 3 countries, being the highest as I can check. As you can see, we have we use 6 databases as Google Scholar, Scopus, EBSCOhost, ScienceDirect, IEEE, and Taylor and Francis. We use two, a software, BOSV Viewer, for the analyzed bibliometric. The more relevant words or keywords found in this analysis was machine learning, dropout prediction, classification, education data mining. We're talking about the result. The result regarding to level of accuracy obtained by the predictive model. As you can see, we find it some models, such as GBM, like random forest, logistical regression, CHAID, COX, like nearest neighbor, fitted forward, super vector matching, LSTM, Navy Digest, FWTS, CNN, ADDA, and proposal. The student found that different authors, like models and to predict student attrition based on their convenience. However, the random forest algorithm was the most algorithm for predicted student dropout. Some others models used were decision tree, like I said, logistic regression, supported vector machine, LSTM. The level of accuracy obtained by predictive model for student dropout was found between 73% and 99%. The author using another algorithm, like a free algorithm, obtained an accuracy between 69% and 99%, while logistic regression, as you see in the picture. Different aspects or factors were considered in predicting student attrition, such as academic performance, demographic information, socioeconomic status, and student behavior. Not all authors consider the same factors for the error detection of a student dropout. In summary, the student concluded that machine learning models are effective to predictive student dropout, and the random forest algorithm is the most commonly those classification model, for where the most commonly uses algorithm for predicting this student attrition. The study also highlights, this is our slide with research, the Python language was the most appropriate for development of algorithm, relying on libraries that this language offer. They also use it somewhere WEKR software, which offers a collection of machine learning algorithm. The R language, together with a care library, allow it to perform the whole process from selection variable. The rapid miner software was used for the data analysis as well. Its simplicity of use. As you can see in this slide, the discussion was centered in different algorithms that have been considered the most appropriate by different research. The most commonly used algorithm in random forest, logistic regression, and also being considered the best algorithm in some students. The support vector machine allowed early prediction of dropout in study. The K nearest neighbor algorithm was considered adequate in another study. Generally, simply classifier are better than more algorithms. This word. So, yeah. For this question, the text describes several studies using prediction model, say, to identify risk dropping out. It's a simple resume random forest and decision tree algorithm were the most commonly used, with accuracy ranging in the 69 to 99% logistic regression in support vector machine. Algorithm also produced a high level of accuracy of 97.8%. The name Magis algorithm obtained in accuracy between 76% and 90%, while the boosting gradient matching achieved between 73 and 93%. There are different factors, including demographic and the academic. Python, its library, were often used by the R language with curly library, and RapidMiner solver were also employed. And finally, the conclusion. Yeah, the articles present a systematic review on the both prediction, which 88 manuscripts were analyzed internally, concluding that the most commonly used models are random forest, of course, random forest in the decision of tree algorithm. The random forest achieved an accuracy between 76% and 99%, while the decision tree achieves an accuracy between 96 and 99%. Yes, I will hear some references. Others, all our reference. That's all for this presentation. Thank you very much. I hope if you have some question, maybe. Thank you very much.
Sorry, can I make a question? So thank you for the presentation. And I have some doubt about the discussion. You, in your discussion, compare the different paper according to the obtained performance. But are you sure that all these papers have the same classification goal? Because usually you have a different kind of classification goal. For example, you can have a multinomial classification, a binomial classification. You have also to consider the kind of data set it was used, the population of the data set, if there are some other bias in the data set. So I have some doubt about the comparison according to the performance, because you can compare if you start from the same point of view.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Well, in this review, we compare the models, what kind of models the researchers are using in any kind of papers were find it find it in the database in where we search. And
what's the keywords? Which keywords you used to perform the search? I suppose that if I write a dropout classification model, I find a lot of work with very different goals. It is a my supposition. No?
Yeah, the keywords are model, machine learning, prediction, dropout, and
okay.
And that's like in the paper is checked after the abstract.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was. Thank you very much.
So there is only one suggestion, like Martha mentioned, that you have to tell us about the data set, the volume of data set, and you only presented in the numerical value. There are no significant diagram to represent your work. Similarly, you have presented the ML model as well as the cross models, like you have connected with CNN with some other models. So you have to tell the significance role of all the model and the your working process. So this is my suggestion only. Because this is only table which we can access and see the results, that we are not able to find that how you are able to get these results. You never mention about the confusion matrices, how you are getting the result from the confusion matrices. Second, that if you worked on gradient descent, then execute should be there. So these are the few inputs from my side only. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I almost didn't hear it, what you say. I don't know if it's my computer. I don't think so, but I can't listen very well while you're talking, Dr. Sonel. I'm very sorry. I think
Should
it's
I
a problem
repeat?
with your mic, maybe.
Anjali, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Actually, they have a sort of problem. They can't hear you properly.
Okay. Martha, am I audible to you? No?
No, I don't understand. Sorry.
Okay. I'm asking about, am I audible or not?
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We can proceed with next.
We'll move on to our next presenter now. I would like to request Liz Obregon again to present the next paper on the respective topic, predictive model with machine learning for academic performance. You can continue with presenting the next paper, Liz.
Yeah, I will continue. I will search my. Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure again to be able to present this paper entitled by a predictive model with machine learning for academic performance. Well, the outline again is introduction, methodology, results, discussion, and conclusion. Well, the academic performance of a student is crucial in the education system, but various factors can hinder their progress, including socioeconomic status, academic experiences, psychopathology, and psychological factors such as depression and low self-esteem. Peru participate in PISA assessment, where the average measure for mathematics, science, and reading were 400, 404, and 401 respectively. Peru also participated in the Regional Comparative and Explanatory Study, ERCE, where the results for reading were not optimal. However, artificial intelligence technology, particularly machine learning, throughout predictive analysis, have been applied in the education field to develop new strategies and improve academic results. The random forest algorithm is considered one of the best models for predicting success in academic fields. Therefore, the main objectives of the research is to develop a predictive model that uses random forest to predict the academic performance of a student in a school in Peru, in a public school in Peru. Well, the question and the objective is related with construct a predictive model of multi-class classification for the academic performance of a student in a public elementary school in Peru. Well, the methodology used for study aimed at creating a predictive model with machine learning and improve was the methodology CRISP-DM methodology, which is focused on performing project tasks and computes of 6 phases: business compression, data preparation, modeling, evaluation, and implementation. The passages goes on explain each phase of this methodology. First phase is understanding the business, which involves identify the business objectives and requirements of the project to define the problem that can be solved by machine learning techniques. The confusion matrix was used to identify the correct and incorrect prediction of each class. And the model had 95% accuracy. The model's performance parameters were also displayed in the recall. Parameters indicate that the model was not accuracy in predicting all students who had the level in progress. The most influential attributes in the prediction of the academic performance model were CAP2B, IM, PRESPO, CAP1B, and CAP3B, while the lowest correlation was observed in Inter and CAP12. Well, the ROC curve showed that the model performance was good in the predicting each class academic performance. In the model had an area under the curve of 1 for level in beginning and outstanding, 0.92 for expected, and 0.89 for in progress. Overall, the model was deemed to be good in predicting each class of academic performance. Well, the article examined the result of other studies on prediction academic performance and found that the model used in the study achieved a high % of accuracy, while other studies proposed models with cross-validation methods that had low accuracy results of less than 65%. And other studies achieved an accuracy of 91% using only academic and demographic data. The study also identified that academic factors, especially the final grades of the first bimester of reading skills, were the most highly correlated with predicting academic performance, which inconsistent with the finding of other study is very consistent. The study also used a multi-class model approached with the ROC curve, which provided confidence in the performance of the model, and the AUC was almost similar to that of another study that uses the same number of classes. Well, in other hand, it was identified the factors were highest correlation for predicting academic performance. You see, especially the final grades of the first semester of reading skills. It also shows one of the curves that provides confidence in the performance model, which being with a multi-class model, it was necessary to plot the ROC with different places to obtain the IUC of each one. Thus, in this article, prediction of student ATM performance in the e-learning environment using random forest, it is mentioned that they use same number of classes as our proposed model. In that, its AUC is almost like ours. Well, every year, research is conducted to understand why there are still students with different academic levels, whether high, medium, or low. Institutions find it difficult to process student data and identify the factors that contribute to low academic achievement. In this study, multi-class machine learning predictive model for academic performance was developed using random forest algorithm, 12 psychological and academic attributes were used as input data, and the weighted attribute was used as a output data to categorize academic performance into 4 levels. Model achieved a high accuracy rate in 93% in predicting academic performance level, even with unbalanced data. The random forest algorithm was found to be the most optimal in predicting student academic performance level, and could serve as a useful tool for future research in the field education. Well, yeah, in this presentation, I avoid to put the reference because there's not too much spaces. The reference was so many, and that's all for this presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay, what's the initial data set? How did you split it in training test data sets? Did you hear me?
Sorry, can you repeat, please, the question?
Some information about the adopted data set, and how did you split this data set, training test data set? So, did you use a specific data set to perform your?
Well, we use 12 psychological and academic attributes. Where is it?
The feature model. Yeah, this is the feature model. But the data set, what's the data set? Okay, no problem. It's okay for me.
Are we trying to?
Do we have any questions from the participants?
In both of the paper which she has presented, she never discussed about the data set. In the last time, I just mentioned about data set, confusion matrix, and ROC curve. She has presented ROC curve and confusion matrix in this paper, but in the last paper that was missing. So that was my only concern, that she has to include all these things, because presenting results is not a research. We have to tell that the data set size, why we are choosing that particular model, any significance reason for that, and all the results which we are mentioning. So we have clearly mentioned all the things. So this is only suggestion. We can move to next.
Okay, thank you very much for your suggestion.
Thank you, Brian. We'll now move on to our next presenter. I would like to request our next presenter, Shanti Vardhanansi, to please present their paper on their respective topic.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon and good night. Let me introduce myself. My name is Santi Vardhaningsih, and this night I would like to share my study. This is the title, The Benefit of mHealth in Student Counseling Service to Overcome Stress. This presentation is content from the background, literature review, method, risks finding, and discussion. This is the background. Why I study about this topic, because nursing students have experienced the stress found in other academic and non-academic. Several factors influence, such as environment factors, clinical factor, academic factor, and interpersonal and intrapersonal factor. In solving problems, each student is very different each other. Some can self-admit pressure as also they need from others. When stress cannot be handled properly, student will find to carry out the problem. University certainly has to provide counseling service. They attempt to help students to explore the problem experience so that learning and teaching process can be running well. By doing counseling, a comfortable facility is needed where the counselee will be able to share their problem with the counselor, and the counselor can properly provide what is needed to be able to help the student. This is the literature review. First is mental health in college student. Stress is something that is expected but not happen, or condition where there is a need that can not be met. In addition, stress also a psychosocial reaction or response. Stress is positive and negative response that is perceived as pressure and can affect the psychological and also physical of individual. Regarding to the student, there are three causes of student easily experiencing stress, such as academic problem, the desire to get high grade or degree, and also anxiety. Especially for nursing student, they also struggling to stress due to coursework and also course load, demand from the parent, because the parent is push them to successful in the college, and also increasingly difficulty cost material and increasingly material complexity. This is the about mHealth in counseling. The use of technology in the provision of services in psychology is growing rapidly. Not only does telepsychology increasing access and reduce disparities in mental health service, but telepsychology can quickly become the preference method for mental health services. Mental health, but telepsychology could quickly become the preference method of mental health given of technology is intertwined in every life, and mental health is emerging as significantly tool to overcome barrier to mental health support access due to its ability to quickly reach and provide support to individual in need of mental health support. According to the result of literature review, using the keyword student mental health mHealth, there is a relationship between the use of mHealth application technology to solve mental health problems such as stress, anxiety, and depression in the student. This trend show that mHealth is widely developed in the management of mental health problem in the student. The research objective, the study aimed to explore the nursing student need in counseling to improve stress coping skill. The design, the study used descriptive qualitative research method, namely research that describe a situation, event, a symptom, or event that is happening now. The number of participants in this study as 8 students with criteria, nurse student participant in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, a student who do not live with the parent, stay away from the parent, willing to become a participant. And how to collect the data? To collect the data, we use deep interview. The data analysis, the variable in this study is the need for nursing student to social assess stress coping, especially using mHealth. The data analysis involve the process organizing data, preliminary reading of the data base, coding and organizing themes, presenting data, preparing data interpretation. This is based on the Creswell. And the research finding. On this study, I found 4 themes. First is anticipation of stress causing moment. Is divided into many sub-themes. The anticipating of stress causing moment is active in organization, because some students not only they are doing the lecturing, but also they also increase their soft skill. So they they join the student organization. And second is anxiety because lecturing. It is of course because like I taught in the background and also the literature review, that the student got anxiety because the lecturing. And the third is family problem. This is also the problem of the student, final examination, self-blame, and time management. And the second theme is recognition of I'm sorry, I mistyped this conclusion. Recognition of stress symptom. This is how the student to recognize what the stress symptom. They want to know what is the symptom of the stress. And this is got from the for subtheme, symptom of stress, distress maladaptive, and also eustress and adaptation, and impact of stress. And the third theme is problem solving method. They need to know the consultation theme is about the how to adaptation the change, and they solve the problem by activities with the gadget, and they also do the spiritual way and sharing with family or friend. And this is the four themes. It's about the M-Health consultation. They said that the M-Health consultation is very useful, especially for the video conference, and also because video conference they can directly consult with the counselor, and the text-based chat in Indonesia is famous in Hello Doctor and Hello Nurse. This is also they thought that they got the benefit from the M-Health. And the discussion, a person certainly has their own limitation in problem solving. Some can solve it themselves, but some need the other people to able to give advice or just a listener. Each campus provide counseling service to the student to be able to provide psychological assistance to the student. Counseling guidance is one of the important component in education as a system. Participation state that the implementation counseling is need to help the student in academic. And about the advantages of the online counseling, it is direct request from the side counseling and then attend face-to-face and request online counseling, which means the counseling is more comfortable in communicating. Counselor can reach out to wider range of the counselor, for example, by Zoom or by Google Team. They can directly to face-to-face and also reach more from the behavior and also from the thought of the counseling and also the gesture. So the counselor can give more advice. Even without the observed verbal and psychological cues, non-counseling find it's easier to pull out their thought and also feeling. The implementation of counseling between the counselor and counselee is more flexible and by mutual agreement. With the advantages, the counselor must have theoretical and practical skill in carrying out cyber counseling methodology. But the online counselor and online counseling also have the weakness, such as the weakness is cannot pay enough attention to facial expression.
Sorry to interrupt. Could you please conclude your session?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. That's all. Thank you.
Martha, any query from your side? You are on mute.
I have no query. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Anjali,
you, Prof.
could you
Martha.
proceed for next?
Oh, thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, Shanti. We'll now move on to our next presenter. Our next presenter for the session is Nur Hidayah. I would like to present their paper on the respective title, The Readiness of a Private Hospital Towards Smart Hospital in Indonesia. Dear presenter, please present your paper.
Thank you very much. I will present about the readiness of a private hospital toward smart hospital in Indonesia. Introduction. The widespread adoption of the Internet of Things has resulted in a significant evolution in every single field of human life from a technological standpoint, including the healthcare sector. A smart hospital is a term used to describe digitalized hospital that use automated and optimized IoT-based processes. Smart hospitals prioritize improving patient care by introducing new modern health care service. This provides a comprehensive description of a patient disease, allow doctor to respond quickly, and highlight patient monitoring continuously. Background problem. Not all hospital units have been integrated with internet-based information system, except for online patient registration, EMR for pediatric and neurology clinic, and billing system. The hospital management information system does not yet have a strategic plan for developing a hospital. Developing a hospital management information system that is integrated with the hospital strategic plan. A research objective. This research aims to assess the readiness of private hospital in Central Java, Indonesia, to become a smart hospital by digitalizing an internet-based hospital management information system. Research method. This research used a qualitative research approach called a case study to get detailed information from participants by conducting in-depth interview. The participants were 8 human resources of a private hospital consisting of a hospital director, a finance manager, human resource manager, deputy human resource manager, nursing manager, education and training manager, and assistant manager of management information system. The interview transcripts were analyzed using coding analysis. Result, the hospital had made effort to develop a hospital management information system consisting of electronic medical record, a human resource information system, a billing system for patient registration and payment service, and pharmacy information system. Result, 1 electronic medical record, outpatient unit, namely pediatric and neurology clinic, has been used EMR. Meanwhile, some polyclinics still use paper to write down the patient medical information. Result 2, financial information system. The hospital does not yet have an information technology integrated financial information system. Even the financial report are still created manually. Hence, the financial information system is currently being developed. 3, accounting information system. The system has not yet been fully created because development time with vendor is very limited. Currently, the accounting information system cannot be entirely automated. Manual input is still required. Result 4, human resource information system. The human resource information system already has an HRIS that can be used to input and access health human resource data. However, the HRIS has not been integrated into the employee performance assessment. Result 5, billing system. Payment service have been facilitated using electronic payment. However, there are still certain specialists who use non-electronic payment methods. There are several patient registration systems implemented by the hospital, including online registration using the National Health Insurance mobile application, a self-registration platform, and registration using Muyasar application. Result 6, pharmacy information system. The pharmacy information system has facilitated system integrated medicine prescribing. The result of the research show that private hospital also facilitate telehealth service, namely medicine delivery that collaborate with online delivery system. Conclusion, a private hospital in Central Java, Indonesia has been trying to realize a smart hospital by implementing a hospital management information system integrated with hospital health services. Implementing hospital management information system is becoming one of the most important aspects required to realize a modern hospital. Human management information system, namely electronic medical record, human resource information system, a billing system for patient registration and payment service, and a pharmacy information system are already integrated with hospital health services. However, accounting and financial information system have not been fully integrated. So some tasks are still performed manually and partly utilize the system.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. I'd like only to know if you consider that the obtained results can be generalized to other hospitals in the same country. So if the case study that you consider can be considered as a representative of a bigger population.
This is just one hospital in Java. In Java, with 8 respondents to answer the question about the
Okay, it's okay.
Sorry, because the problem.
No, it's okay for me.
Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. No query from my side.
Thank you so much, Noor. As we are done with all our presentations, I would like to move to the closing remarks. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, Anjali.
Okay, so I would sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough for all of you. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this 8th version and the previous 7 versions of the conference. We'll be happy to have you in the 9th version in 2024. All the presenters will be getting their digital certificates through the mail within 2 working days. And further, all the papers have already been forwarded to the printer. The publication will be live within 6 months. So we'd like to request you all to please kindly cooperate with the team of ICICT 2023. I would also like to thank our session chairs, Dr. Sunil Jangir and Professor Martha Michel for chairing the session. Here is a token of appreciation to the chair session on behalf of the team ICICT 2023 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and partners. We're very thankful to have you, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir, for chairing our session.
Thank you so much, Prof. Martha, Dr. Sunil Anjali.
Thank you, Prof. Martha.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Dr. Sunil Jangir.
You would like to, everyone, can you please turn on your cameras? You would like to have a quick snapshot for the conference, just so that we can have a full snapshot. Thank you so much, everyone. Please take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.